Recording there. Cool. Welcome.
Hello.
Good lord.
Hi. I like being loud.
Fucking click the audio.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Your eardrums will thank me later.
Yeah. Apologies to headphone users on that one.
You may need stronger headphones.
Yeah. I agree. Welcome back to the Midwest Anime Podcast. I'm Caleb.
Andrew.
So, today we are continuing our discussion of Sword Art Online, starting with Season 2.
Ah, yes. The Swords of Guns.
Yes, the first arc in Season 2 is Gun Gale Online.
Where the guns are.
Yes, yeah.
And
which is more, I think, they said in the show the game is like an American, a more American game. It's got the main servers are in the U.S., or the devs are at least.
EA Sports.
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. Gun Gale Online. It's the first battle royale.
Yeah, it's 100% just battle royale. Like,
I blame it for Fortnite.
Yeah.
Okay, glad we're on the same page.
Okay, so I didn't mind it. I guess the first time I watched it, it was kind of meh.
Yeah.
But the second time around, I didn't mind it. It had some good tie-ins with the first season.
The subplot, I think, is the most important piece. The Kirito coming to grips with
what he had to do in
the death
Crad
and killing of people.
Right. Well, even Sinon, the sort of main character.
I would say she's the main character.
She's the main character of this arc. Yeah, and her trauma would be putting it lightly.
Yeah, and
having to,
and we talked about this just in our own time,
right? But
the cultural differences really come to light in the second season between Japan and America, because in the American perspective,
spoiler warning: Sinon in her real life kills a guy that was holding up a post office or a bank.
It was a post office.
It was a post office.
It's a very odd place to rob, but it's what happened.
She shoots him 3 times trying to save her mom.
And, other people.
Yeah.
And so she now has this, unbelievable,
she gets panic attacks every time somebody, she sees a gun, touches one, anyone talks about one. It's weird. It's the weirdest part of the... Other than Yui, because Yui will always be the weirdest part of anything Sword Art.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
But
you see that cultural change, because when Sinon's growing up, she's ridiculed for it.
Yeah, and kids are not that mean in real life.
Okay,
holy shit,
kids are terrible sometimes.
Yeah, but they're not gonna ask a little girl, "Hey, did you murder anybody today?"
Yeah,
no. What the fuck?
No, that's a.
What
level.
Is that shit?
That is a level of not gonna happen.
No. And even if they did, they'd get reprimanded.
One would hope.
Well, one would hope, yes, but.
She would be a buzzkill at laser tag parties.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, sure.
But what she's doing in the game is to come to grips with, more comfortable with the guns. If I become the most powerful Gun Gale player, then I can have the ability to have the strength in real life.
Works, I guess.
I guess
it works in anime logic.
Yeah. I think
it doesn't make sense to us in real life, but...
The best way it works, I think, is when it comes to... She takes what she learns from the people in Gun Gale, and then translates it to real life. And she still struggles with it, obviously.
Right.
And it's still a problem.
She'll struggle with it her entire life.
But she showed that bully she can shoot a pop can from 20 yards.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because that bully brought a fucking BB gun that looked exactly like some sort of standard issue...
Police rifle. Police gun.
Police gun.
Rifle. I don't know why I said rifle.
Army or military or police gun or something like that.
Some sort of standard issue of government level.
Yeah.
Which, again, why are you walking around with that?
Yeah, even if it's a BB gun, and I think that part of that is... It again, shows the cultural differences. just because typically people don't walk around with guns, like unless they have a concealed carry, and
unless you're in,
and even then,
the Midwest.
Well, yeah, and even then, it doesn't happen that often.
Right, like I know plenty of people that have concealed carry that don't walk around with a gun on their head.
Yeah,
but I know people
they'll use concealed carry typically when they feel they need to, like
right, like I know some people who do it and they only have their gun on them if they're going on like a long trip.
Right.
Like if they're going on like a long motorcycle ride up, through the Dakotas and back down, you know exactly, just in case something happens.
Yeah.
But mostly they do it because there's wild animals that come onto the road.
They don't just walk into Walmart with a fucking revolver on their hip.
No one really does that.
No. Unless they're planning something horrible. But we're
gonna toe the line here.
Yeah,
because we're not.
And again, like last episode, as far as Sword Art goes, on our channel we have an exclusive episode where we talked about fan service.
Ooh, maybe you should go check that out.
Link will be just down in the description below.
He's gonna do that because I don't know what that
I'm
means.
gonna take care of that. But it's we in the last episode of Sword Art that we talked about, we talked about some topics that could be
off-putting,
maybe triggering to some people. Yeah. Stuff that we didn't even feel comfortable talking about. Stuff that's very uncomfortable.
Right.
But we felt that it needed to be talked about because it would be a disservice to the show, I think.
Yeah, and I think to the viewers
talk
too.
about it. Yeah.
And it's a main part of the
storyline.
And you can't shy away from it just because it's an awkward topic.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable. Of course it is. It's
also part of the story. Yeah. And so everyone, will deal with and process each story individually. So, when I say I don't think this would be as traumatic of an experience as the show makes it, it could be. I've never shot somebody.
Right. I hope neither of us ever have to.
Correct. I've obviously played paintball before, but it's not the same as watching somebody's life drain from their eyes because you put a bullet in their head.
Right. Neither of us have had to go through such an experience, so we don't really know. We're just talking from
our perspective. And your perspective is different.
Yes.
And we accept that and we appreciate it.
And we respect your opinions.
And we'll gladly hash stuff out in the comments. Yeah. If you've got something you want to talk about, let's chat it out.
Yeah.
Let's get it out there.
Civilly.
Yeah,
not calling us
don't be a douche about
virgins
it.
But
yeah. don't come at us like we're just some, a-holes that don't know what we're talking about. We are around guns. We have plenty of experience with weapons.
Yeah.
We just haven't had the same
experiences as using
perspective.
Them. We've never had to use them.
Correct.
Again, hopefully we never will.
Again, correct.
We are prepared if we need to. We know how to use one. So I think we're not going to get into... This could easily go into a discussion about guns.
We're not going to do a gun rights thing.
We're not going to do that.
We're not going to go down that road.
We've talked about this before. We are not a political show. We will never be a political show.
If you want my political thoughts, you can find me on Twitter, and you can just read all my political thoughts.
Yeah. And, DM us on Twitter if you want to talk more about that kind of stuff. But we're not going to do it on here.
Because it's unnecessary. Talk about the show, and in the show, we have a return of murder in games.
Yeah. Yeah, we have the return of Laughing Coffin.
Yes, so what happens...
The Murder Guild from Einkrad.
Is that the death gun guy is shooting people in game and they die in real life. But everyone...
And nobody can figure out why.
Yeah, and everyone except Kirito, obviously, because he's super genius.
Right. Yeah.
He figures out that there has to be a group of people working together. And it's got to be somebody who is controlling the avatar. I'm not on screen. Somebody controlling the avatar. Somebody who's going out and actually doing the murder part.
Right.
And so he figures out that it's all about like the locks they have.
Two or three different. There has to be 2 or 3 different people that are in on this.
And so it has to be like the style of lock, if they live alone, if
who the person is, really,
how guarded it is, how notable they are on the rankings.
Yeah, because typically they have only gone after the highest ranked people.
Yeah.
So.
And Kirito joins the game to fix or find out some more information.
On behest of the government.
And then it gets awkward because he's got girl hair.
Yeah, he's got... I don't know if it's a girl avatar or not.
It's a male avatar because it shows up as male on the info page. But he's got chick hair.
And for some reason, he plays it up.
Yeah, why? He leans into it.
I don't know why. And it's funny at parts, like when he's fucking with people.
Yeah, when he's at the bar, just be like, "Oh, I hope you guys are cheering for me today." And I'm just like, "Oh, there's so much cringe happening right now."
It's like,
but also hilarious.
It's funny when he's fucking with people, but other than that, like, he essentially catfishes Sinon.
Yeah, into helping him.
Yeah.
Because she's like, "Oh, another girl who's just starting? Yeah, I'll help you out."
And then he gets a fucking lightsaber.
And in a game full of awesome assault rifles and submachine guns and
pistols and
sniper rifles, he picks a sword.
Well, a lightsaber, essentially. It's like a light. It's a photon sword, is what they call it there.
And a pistol.
But it makes the same exact fucking sounds as a lightsaber. It's the same sound effects.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And the one thing interesting. Okay, so he goes into this tournament called Bullet of Bullets, which is the dumbest name for a fucking tournament ever.
100%.
Bullet of Bullets. I'll say it again, just so you understand how stupid that sounds.
Yeah, it's...
You couldn't say, like, Hail of Bullets.
Right.
Rain of Bullets. You went with Bullet...
Tournament of Bullets.
Of Bullets. One bullet to rule them all.
Is that like Mother of Dragons from Game of Thrones?
That would be the Dragon of Dragons. Yeah. That actually makes more sense, though, if you say Dragon of Dragons. If
you say enough, because that gives the impression of like a really badass dragon.
Yeah, you could have been like the Shooter of Shooters.
Right. Because Bullet of Bullets just sounds dumb. Like,
yeah.
But like
King of the Lead. I guess there's a gender thing there.
Yeah.
I don't know. But the Lead Rain Champion.
Maybe.
It's getting worse. My ideas are slowly just going.
They're slowly deteriorating. But
straight.
He joins the Bullet of Bullets.
Qualifies.
BOB. We'll call it BOB from now on.
Qualifies in the Bob and trying to keep straight face. So he qualifies for Bob, and luckily
I'm not going to be able to keep a straight face whenever you do that.
I'm sorry. I'm going to make one Fortnite joke, okay?
Okay.
So in the Bob, luckily it's not Bob the Builder like in Fortnite. That was a bad
luckily
one.
there's no crafting.
Yeah. Fortnite's terrible, and back to what I was talking about. Mm-hmm. So, in the Bullet of Bullets tournament, Death Gun enters.
Mm. And it's this actually pretty cool looking, like...
Yeah.
Almost, like, Predator looking dude.
He looks like a... What's the best way to put it? He looks like a bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he got this gas mask looking thing that lets out steam every once in a while.
Did you ever watch Rurouni Kenshin?
A little bit.
Did you see the final boss battle at the end of the first season?
No.
There's a guy who's all wrapped up just like that. It's a nice parallel.
Yeah,
it's a nice parallel, but if you haven't seen it,
go
watch Rurouni Kenshin. It's a great anime.
He has the laughing coffin
semi-exposed
right on his wrist.
Yeah.
And that triggers a whole mess of things that happens to Kirito mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. 100% I get it.
Yeah, because you have to come to grips with the fact that you did what you had to do in the moment.
But
there's...
He never dealt with it.
There's lifelong consequences to it mentally.
Yeah.
Like, he's never going to be able to...
It's something that he'll never really get over, but it's something he eventually learns to accept that he had to do.
Right, because if we think back to the beginning of the Alfheim arc, when Leafa's just standing in the forest...
Right. She's surrounded and...
Kirito just goes and slays those guys.
Yeah. Because PKing is allowed. It doesn't actually kill somebody.
Right, but we didn't get him coming to grips with it until the laughing coffin thing kind of got hit back in his, and I think that's face.
It's partly because it is laughing coffin.
Yeah.
It's not Alfheim. You know, if laughing coffin was in Alfheim, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
But I mean,
the fact that they're dying in the real life,
yeah,
kind of brings it all back. And so we get into the. But we did skip over something. You know, I just realized.
What?
We didn't talk about Sinan's buddy, her friend.
Oh, the simp.
Yeah. Not a word I use, but yeah, that guy.
I called him a simp when we first met him in the season, and you died. Like,
he is. He is like, I don't know how to talk to girls.
Yeah.
And he's like, will you go on dates with me?
Yeah, he's obsessed with her. And
like, you're like, okay, we just got onto the creepiest arc in the history of anime.
Yeah.
We're not gonna
maybe not. I don't know. I haven't seen anything creepier.
Yeah.
As far as what we've seen.
Okay. In our experience.
Yeah, in our experience.
Please don't comment, well, this arc's way creepier. You should watch that because...
No.
Please don't.
No.
I don't want to. Anyway.
I don't even want to watch it. Like,
so, he's kind of creepy, be honest. He's a little creepy.
Yeah. But it's more of the, you know, I'm nervous around people.
Young love, like, I don't know how to talk to girls.
It's the socially awkward creepy.
Yeah.
Like, they're not trying... Don't do that. Don't put that out there.
I'm kidding.
But kidding. It's the socially awkward creepy where you're not trying to be, but you just kind of...
You just don't really know what to do.
Yeah, you stumble over your own words and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, and you don't know timing, so you don't really think, now would be a good time to ask this girl out, right? Yeah, she's not going through anything.
No.
She said no, which means I can ask again in 5 minutes, and she'll say yes.
Right. I can ask again the next day.
Yeah, and it's a weird thing.
After
and
I'm creepily in her apartment.
I think it's cool that they're friends outside of the game that caused them to play the game that got her to start playing together. Like,
yeah.
She started playing because of him.
Yeah, he introduced her to the game and all that.
And I think that's cool. And then we get into the tournament, and he's watching as...
Yeah, as
the whole thing's going on. Like, Kirito and Sinon had their one duel in the beginning, in the qualifier.
In the qualifier, in the finals.
And then we get into the actual battle royale, which was interesting.
Yeah,
it's one thing,
to say the least.
The one thing I really liked about it, to be honest, and I think this could be a feature in battle royales in actual life. I don't know if any other one does it, because Apex doesn't. It's the only battle royale I play.
All right. I don't think Warzone does it. Call of Duty.
The every 15-minute scan thing.
Yeah,
I
think that's essentially like the circles closing in Warzone and Fortnite and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but it's just
I think that's really cool.
It's just to keep the map condensed.
Yeah.
So you don't have this giant sandbox that you're running around in the entire time.
Yeah.
When there's two people and you're both all the way across the map from each other.
And you could change it to be like every... Because an average Apex game lasts between 15 and 20 minutes.
Right, you could have it be every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But that's just, again, a feature that I liked. And then we find out that he's got the sniper of all snipers.
Yeah, the best sniper rifle in the game, other than Sinon's, which is essentially just a 50 cal.
Yeah, it's a monster.
He has what is called the Silent Assassin,
which makes no sound.
Yeah.
And bullet happens. Which you see...
no sound. I don't think it has a muzzle flash. Like,
right.
It's completely...
There is one point where you see the two bullets go next to each other from Sinon's and the death gun.
Yeah.
And you see just a size difference. So you see Sinon's is the 50 cal. It's a honker.
Yeah.
And then you see the little tiny baby death gun.
And that's a really cool kind of unnecessary, but I'm glad it was added animation.
Yeah.
Into it, because it adds something more to the tension of the scene.
And then her scope gets blown off, and his gun destroyed.
Yeah, and then he pulls out
the death pistol.
No, the sword thing that he has.
Oh, right, the sword made out of, like, gun metal.
Yeah, like a battleship.
Yeah, which didn't make any sense logically.
Because none of that stuff had ever been introduced up until that point.
Right, at no point was there like, oh yeah, there's this gunsmith over here that you could get a gun from instead of going to the government building, the governor's building gun shop.
Right.
You could just go over here and have this guy build you one.
Yeah. Right.
And also that, if they knew that, all they would have to do is be like, oh yeah, I made a sword for this one guy who's all wrapped up, he was weird red eyes, and they'd be like, oh shit, what's his username? Series over.
Yeah.
And I thought there was that one piece in there about how he kept asking Kirito what his name was.
If he was the real
deal.
If he was the same Kirito, essentially.
And then it forced Kirito to have to think back to who the Death Gun guy was.
He had to really...
Because he chose not to hear the guy's name at the end.
In Aincrad, yeah.
Yeah. Which I thought was cool.
He remembered it finally because it was up on a board of...
In the scouting mission.
He was one of the leaders of Laughing Coffin. Red-Eyed Zaza or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But he did. I can never take Laughing Coffin seriously because of the abridged. Just
because they got their face out
there.
Good
job, Jeffrey. Now, kill them all. Yes, my lord. That was pretty awesome, dude. Where'd you? Thanks. Jesus told me to say it. Oh.
Oh no.
The brand recognition.
The abridged is really good for this series. They haven't gotten to Gun Gale yet. They're still in Alpha.
Right.
Episode 15 should be coming out soon.
Hopefully.
Something Witty put out a preview for it.
Yeah, it looks pretty funny.
A month ago, so we'll see. In the Gun Gale, you see the Laughing Coffin people are brothers with...
Yeah, the guy that Sinon is friends with in real life is the brother of one of the Laughing Coffin guys.
The Zaza guy.
Yeah.
And so he was going to medical school.
Correct.
For medicine.
Mm-hmm. We've got a real Dr. Kevorkian on our hands.
Yeah, needles. And, chemicals and whatnot.
Correct. Poison.
And so
they figure out essentially that the other person is in the apartment injecting somebody with a drug that makes their heart stop.
Yep.
That essentially fakes a heart attack.
And so the important piece to it is, Sinon can't die from Death Gun because then...
If he doesn't shoot her, she can't die.
Right, because then they don't get the look of he killed her out of game.
Right.
And so what Kirito has to do is just basically keep her alive. And then you get this nice little thing where they team up in the battle, right. and it's cool.
It's something we mentioned. There's also something we mentioned in the last episode, exclusive episode description. Link is in the description below. But there's a lot of fan service here. There's a lot of cleavage shots on Sinon, and
the fact that her pants don't go all the way.
Yeah, and her
up to her
ass,
waist.
And it's weird. It's
odd.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Yeah, but we talked about it pretty at length in that exclusive episode, and I think we should leave it to you guys to go watch that video.
Yeah, we're not gonna rehash everything we said in that episode. Go watch that episode.
There was a couple weird moments. Kirito being able to drive the four-wheeler of death.
Yeah.
Apparently is impossible to handle. And there's a random mechanical horse, which, when you have the option between a four-wheeler and a giant mechanical horse... and
you take the horse.
Don't take the horse, you're an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
And we all knew the bad guy was going to take the horse.
Of course he was.
So why don't you take the horse?
Yeah, it's obviously... She even said it's faster than the motorcycle things.
Yeah. take the horse.
Yeah.
Every time.
9 times out of 10, maybe.
Every time.
If you're not good at driving them, then...
Only one way to learn.
Fair enough.
You gotta hop on that horse. Get on that horse and ride. I think there's a song.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I enjoyed the arc. It was fun. It was...
It had its moments of
being weird and...
Yeah, but...
It got creepy at the end there. When...
Yeah, he was...
Sinon logged out and was... Like, the guy was there.
Yeah, he was suddenly, like, there within minutes of her having won, like...
Yeah, to congratulate her and...
Yeah.
You know, stab her in the leg with a needle.
Right.
And then...
It was the
Kirito also
for that guy. For that guy, it was the classic "if I can't have you, nobody can."
Yeah,
type of thing.
And it got weird, and then Kirito drops the knee of all knees into this motherfucker's face.
The most beautiful knee.
We watched it like 3 times.
Yeah, we backed it up
just to watch the sheer beauty of the knee. Boom, blood, fantastic.
Right, and of course he tries to inject Kirito, but for some reason he still had one of the little heart monitor things on him. Conveniently, right where he got stabbed.
And it wasn't like... It was the weirdest needle because it didn't have any, like, penetration power. It looked like it just kind of spit.
Well,
like a skin absorption
It must have been like one of those... kind
of like the diabetic little pin
needles.
Yeah,
the finger prickers.
Ones.
Yeah. That must have been what it was like, because it probably had the needle in...
Yeah, because if it was an actual needle, it would have penetrated a small piece of fiber.
Well, probably.
Because that's all the heart monitor is.
Yeah. I don't know. It's convenient to save the main character's life. Like,
yeah, I mean...
That's about it.
You're not going to switch main characters after 1 season.
No.
You can't, really.
No.
Look at Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
But it's a good resolution, and she comes to terms with it. She meets the Alfheim group.
She meets the lady that was behind the counter.
Yep.
At the post office.
Which was an awesome moment.
And kind of realizes exactly what good repercussions came from what happened that day.
There's a hero side to the trauma.
Right.
And which I think was a good piece.
And I think that really helped her come to grips with and be able to deal with it better, knowing that she saved somebody else's life.
I agree.
But next up, we have, in the next episode, at least, we're going to have Excalibur and
the Yuki saga.
Yes.
Where we learn the reason behind the nerve gear.
Yep. We'll see you guys next episode. Remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Tell your friends. Tell people you don't like. Just tell everybody.
Yep.
Everybody.
Every single person you know.
All of them. Even your dog.
Yep. He or she may not care, but
they'll enjoy it while you're not home listening to our voices.
Yeah.
That's
Who's
science.
a good boy? If any dog is listening, who's a good boy? You want a treat? Just get him super excited.
Just hyped. Yeah. Just beyond hyped. And then just be like, someone coming? Someone coming? Someone coming?
Just... Damn it.
There we go.
There we go. That was the goal.
Right.
Okay. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.